Ladies and gentlemen, I often receive questions on how I invest my money, but let's address a more relevant question. While I manage millions, most aren't at that stage yet. Today, let's discuss how I'd invest $1,000 if I weren't a multimillionaire. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to grow $1,000 to $10,000 or even $100,000 in a year or less. Offense and defense are key in investing, akin to a football match. Offense mode is for scoring your initial financial goals, while defense mode safeguards your wealth. It's crucial to understand when to play offense and when to play defense. Playing defense when you have nothing to protect is counterproductive. Small investments in defense plays help exercise your investing muscle. Diversifying your portfolio is crucial in wealth preservation. But getting rich wasn't about diversification. It's about going all in on one thing and then expanding. Offensive investing requires action and effort, not quick fixes. The most powerful investment? Self-education. By learning a profitable skill, you can turn $1,000 into a substantial income, far more quickly than traditional investments. Invest in yourself and your skills to accelerate your financial growth. Ones we teach inside of Digital Launchpad, you can go from nothing to making six figures a year in literally a few months, and again, you don't have to. Take my word for it, as you can see we have thousands of students who paid $37 and are making over $10,000 a month now. Really let that sink in. This is how ridiculously overpowered self-education is. What other kind of business can you spend $37 and make a 270x return in less than a year? And the main thing is, without luck and consistently, in this is why I'm so big on self-education and built my life's purpose around revolutionizing the educational system. And this is why I call my platform Digital Launchpad, because self-education is in fact a launchpad for the life that you want. And by the way, I want to make something very clear. I don't want this to be an ad for Digital Launchpad. Trust me, $37 is not going to change my life. I couldn't care less if you joined. Obviously, I think it's in your best to do so because I try to make the best product out there on the market, but I want to make it clear that there is a million and one different ways to use self-education to make more money. Let's take blue-collar jobs, for example. You could get a plumber's license for as little as $75 and get paid more than 90% of people out there with fancy degrees. This also works for real estate, to get your real estate license if you want to become a personal trainer and many other skills. Get your license, get your qualification not from these universities that charge you way too much money and you spend way too long with most tangible skills out there. You can get the qualifications and the certificate and or even just the self-education if it's online programs in just a couple weeks, even a couple months, and you are off to the races. In my opinion, this is great and all, and by this point in the video, you should have zero doubt in your mind that self-education is the best path to start making real money, especially as a young guy in your early 20s. But just in case you're not convinced, stay with me for a second, because this right here is what makes self-education incomparably superior to anything else on the face of the earth. While people love talking about the compounding effects of investing, I mean, you probably saw those videos explaining how if you invest a certain amount and then about every 7 years, it keeps doubling again and again, then after a while, it's an insane amount of money, and everyone wants to reference Warren Buffett and all this stuff. I get it. Listen, and it does work. This is true. I mean, Einstein said it himself. Compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. But here's the issue I have with this. Is it going to work? Is it going to take a long-ass time to build that momentum? Also true. And two, me personally, being rich in your 7s is fine. Like, it's great. You can take care of your loved ones. You could leave them a tiny little nest egg. You don't have to be a burden on your family. You're kind of set. However, if you want to live a truly memorable life, then you need to get rich young. You need to get rich now. And I'm not talking become a multi-millionaire by the time that you're 16. That a lot of these People feel pressured to these days. I mean, just get to a point where you have financial freedom, where 95% kind of things you don't need to look at the price tag of you could pretty much live the life that you want. But what if I told you that there's actually a hack, a cheat code, a shortcut to achieving the same compounding effect that's not dependent on time? What if I told you that you can have the exact same exponential returns in less than a year? Hear me out. When people think of compounding interest, they think of what? Time. Correct. They associate the concept of compounding as something that grows exponentially in a certain time frame. However, let me offer you a slightly different perspective, and this is what people don't realize, and by the way, this keeps them from making unfair amounts of money. You can achieve the same compounding interest effect through learning skills, through skill stacking, and strategically stacking them on top of each other. And here's how you're going to do this. Picture this. John works a low-level 9 to 5. He makes $20,000 a year. Now he learns cop-op writing. It takes him a few months, but now he's on pace to make $70,000 a year, and then he learns how to hire and delegate and manage a team, and now he's making $140,000 a year. And then he learns systems and client acquisitions, and now his business is on pace to do $280,000 a year. And then he learns content creation and personal branding, and now he's making $1 million a year. And I could keep going on and on about skill stacking until he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But here's the point. You do not have to wait until you have gray hairs and kids to start seeing the digits in your bank account double every couple of months. Instead of using time as a catalyst to double your income, you can use skill stacking and double your revenue every couple of months, predictably and consistently. And that, my friend, ties perfectly with the message of this video, and that is self-education can propel you to riches faster than any other investment out there. Now, once you actually invest in your education and start to actually make decent money, multiple 6 figures or even 7+, then and only then should you get serious about boring long-term defensive investments. As I said previously, you should always be doing it on a small scale, even if it's just $5 a week, just so you can consolidate that habit. But the moment that you actually want to get serious about this is when you have multiple 6 figures just laying around and nowhere to put it, or when your business is making more money than you know what to do with it, where you can no longer reinvest in the business. However, until that moment comes, keep investing in the best asset there is in the world, which is yourself. So with all that being said, I really hope, like, when you go to bed at night, you just understand that, yes, I want you to buy property. Yes, I want you to invest in the stock market. Yes, have some alternative assets, play around, see what you enjoy investing in. Go buy $300,000 watches like this. Do whatever you want, but nothing on earth will ever be as valuable as you are. There's no asset on earth that will produce in the way that you can. And who is it, Jay-Z, that said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman? And what he's trying to say there is that all these businesses are great, but at the end of the day, I am the golden goose that is laying these eggs. I am the producer at the end of the day. So with all that said, just know that I'm watching from afar and I'm rooting for you.